It's funny because in 2001, in addition to almost killing myself in New York City, I was watching the movie Fight Club on repeat. And it's funny because I've now had Chuck Palahniuk, the author, on the show a couple times, which is very surreal. But there's a line in there where Ed Norton says to Pitt, he says, "I'm a 30-year-old boy." And of course, I used to repeat it all the time, in New York City because I watched the movie like 100 times on repeat back when DVDs were the thing. And so I kind of felt that way when I finally got the hell out of New York to survive and came to London. I started rebuilding myself, and one of those was a physical practice. So I started training martial arts, and then I really got into that, and that's one of the things that really saved me. So I agree. One of my guests said one time, character is built when no one's watching. And I think that's an allusion to some of the things that you said. People look at a Conor McGregor and they're like, this guy is just confident and he can turn it up whenever he wants. Now, maybe there's exceptions out there, but for most people, you have to earn confidence because your brain is always watching you, and it becomes confident when it's proud of you and your decisions. And that's back to the character is built when no one's watching. All the things that you do because you told yourself you would do them is how you can start to be proud of yourself. And that's what I just started building up when I was, say, 30 to 40. And it does work. So I'd say for anybody out there, getting that type of a physical practice is really important because there's so many things in that physical practice. It's just, there's commitment, there's doing things when you don't feel like it, there's getting results, there's all sorts of disciplines in there. So I think that's really good. I dove into all my shadow issues, and even though I kind of stopped doing drugs back then, I was still drinking daily. And it was the thing that really bothered me, and it chipped away at my self-esteem over decades. Because, Connor, I was supposed to be one of the smartest people in the world, and I was successful in a lot of areas of my life, but I couldn't stop fucking drinking. And it would kill me, and I couldn't figure it out. And I tried and this and that. And funny enough, I think starting this show helped me because I think what I really needed was connection and a community more than anything. But I remember when I finally did it, it was such a powerful thing that I could take something that had dominated me for so many years, and now I was free of it. And I went down to each thing. I mean, first I was like, I'm off the drugs. Then I figured out how to stop smoking. And then I figured out how to stop drinking. And these were really powerful things that I overcame. And yeah, I would talk about them later to other people, but it was more just me. And I remember I had that heroin overdose in 2001 in New York City. And I remember, it's one of the most proudest moments of my life, getting off that nasty garbage. And I'll always be proud of myself for that, always. And for the next 5 years, 10 years, it was something that was always up there in my mind, even though I actually didn't tell a soul for about 15, 16 years until I made a movie about it. And so I would agree with you. If you can go into those shadow issues and conquer them, massive self-esteem can be built, really powerful. And then the last thing, interesting that you said, I was the classic guy that would beat himself up a lot. But lately I've been doing kind of the opposite and more of this, positive self-talk and affirmations and also kind of walking meditations from like Dispenza. And now I'm really changing my state in a super ultra positive way and looking at myself in this really benevolent, positive way. And so, sometimes when people say, oh, they're a narcissist and they're this and they're that, I taught in my academy for 8 years, and I was like, man, probably like you, most of my students are coming from a really low level. You should never berate someone for thinking highly of themselves because it's such a rare commodity. So I want to give people as much self-esteem as possible. I want them to affirm themselves and to talk about themselves in a high way, because that inner critic can be really harsh. And I think social media makes it worse because you open up Instagram, there's always someone that's making more money than you, with a hotter girlfriend than you, with a better body than you, with an It's there every time you look, you'll find someone like that. Whereas, when I grew up, it was just the people around you that you might see, or someone on a magazine, and they didn't really qualify. So yeah, I think your 3 pieces there are really important. And by no means am I done on those journeys as well. I still have a lot of work to do.
How do you get out of a rat race? How do you create wealth not only for yourself, but also for the generations to come after?
I am absolutely amazed with the quality of companies that we're getting exposure to.
We go on to Zoom calls with the innovators and the folks who are building new applications in metaverse, blockchain, artificial intelligence, decentralized finance.
What's going on, everybody? Thumbs up if you can see me.
We are focusing on early stage investment.
And the quality of people that we're getting exposure to, whether it be Dan Tapiero with 1RT, Jason Ma from Open, Yatsu from Animoca.
It's been a phenomenal experience thus far. It has far exceeded my expectations.
We are focusing on cutting edge technologies.
I view it now as the best investment I've ever made. The upside, I view, is unlimited.
And as a retail investor, I would never get this exposure anywhere else outside of Investment Club.
See you in the Investment Club.